It's been a very busy week at Altrincham Football Club, and we're delighted to welcome Danny Cashman, who's joined on loan until the end of the season. Welcome to the football club, Danny. Tell us about your early life and your introduction to football.
I started off at Crawley actually when I was about 11 years old, and that lasted for about a year. They couldn't fund the academy then, so we all got let go, and within a couple of weeks I got a letter through the door saying Brighton wanted me on trial, and then the rest is really history there. I was there for 10 years nearly. I left there when I was 20 and joined Coventry, and then went out on loan to Rochdale and Walsall, and I found myself here now.
And Brighton Hove Albion, fascinating what's happened there over the last few years. And we're a club that develops players, and some of them move on. That's happened this week or in the transfer window. So in some ways, Altrincham was very like Brighton, but it must have been very interesting to see what's happened there as the club has developed into a major Premier League outfit.
Yeah, I mean, I was there when we had nothing. Literally, we didn't have a training ground. Every night was a different venue, so that was tough and probably a good thing to be brought up in. And then obviously the training ground came along, and it was a bit like a dream, to be fair. And it was there when Chris Shuton was there, and then when Graham Potter got brought in and changed the philosophy about the place, and you could see a massive change in the club, in the people, in the staff, in the training. I think it's also put me in good stead, really.
And who are the players that have really come through that you will have been your peers and are now big names?
To be fair, there's quite a few that I've played with. Moises at the moment, who's obviously just been linked with Arsenal. The likes of I've played with Stephen Alzati, Aaron Connolly, Rob Sanchez in goal. I've played with all of them really. So they've all done well for themselves, and hopefully they can carry on, and hopefully I can push on in my career as well.
Now, you've come to us with quite a lot of experience in the Football League. You've had a long loan at Rochdale, and you've been at Walsall this season. How did you find the transition from under-23s football to full-time professional football?
I'd say it's quite a big change in terms of, it's all about winning. 23s, if you lose, there's not a lot of consequences. You're just there to develop yourself as a player and a person. The biggest thing for me is probably moving away from home. Obviously, I'm from down south, so it's taking that transition of moving across places, and it's another thing that helps me probably be a better person in the long run.
And you're a Sussex boy, and you found yourself in the frozen north, alone at Rochdale. Now you're up in Manchester with Altrincham.
Yeah, I loved Manchester last year. It was I think it's a great city, to be honest. It's a smaller version of London in my opinion, and I really enjoyed my time living here. So it's not a big issue, moving away from family can get hard, but that's part and parcel of being a footballer, and I'm on my own journey trying to see where it can get me, really.
How would you describe yourself as a footballer?
Hard working. I like to think that I can, make that final pass or final shot and to decide a game. Really, I think that's just kind of my end product's quite good, and my intelligence of reading the game can be quite good. I think they're the main things really. I just want to kind of come into play as much football as I can, enjoy my football again. It's been a rough period of time, and I just want to play as many games under my belt and see how I can help the team.
And we play 4-2-3-1. The number 10 role is a really important part of that particular jigsaw. And you've got big boots to fill because Josh Hancock, who has been with us up until the end of last season, was leading scorer for a couple of seasons, did a fantastic job for us. And this season, Chris Con-Clark, in a relatively short period, has really become a fan's favourite. I'm sure you've seen some of his goals, and I'm sure you're hoping that you can follow in their footsteps.
Yeah, of course. I've seen the last player that was here. I've seen some clips of him, and he looked very good, to be honest. Scored some good goals and seemed to dictate the game quite a bit. But at the end of the day, that's him, and I might not be the same player, I might do something different, but as long as I can give my all, and I don't want to put pressure on myself to try and fulfill someone else's boots. I want to be able to play my game and give the fans what they want in terms of, hard work and contribute as much as I can. And that's my goal. I don't want to try and be a player I'm not. I've come here to be the player that I am and enjoy my football again.
And I'm guessing you get it all the time, but you do look very like Jack Grealish, and you're not dissimilar in terms of style.
Yeah, everywhere I've gone, I've either been chanted some nasty things at me about that, or even in the street sometimes been told I look like that Jack Grealish. But it's a compliment, really. I mean, I could think of other worse players to be compared to. It's just one of them things you gotta take on the chin. It's not a bad thing. I quite enjoy it, to be honest.
And this loan, you're here with us till the end of the season. It's a very important loan for you. It's a very, very important loan for us as well. But you're 22 years old, and if you're going to establish yourself at a high level in football, then the National League is a really good place to showcase your talents.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you look at in the last recent years, how many players have come out the National League and jumped a league or two, and that's how quick football can change. And that's my ultimate goal. Obviously, I'm still at Coventry, so whether this loan goes good, hopefully it does. I can go back there and knock on the door and see what's what, or if not, I can move on and hopefully progress myself up the leagues and make a name for myself.
And your first game couldn't be much bigger. Wrexham are in town. Huge amount of focus around them for obvious reasons with the ownership of the Hollywood boys. It's going to be a full house at the J. Davidson Stadium. Fantastic atmosphere, live on BT Sport. So, what an opportunity.
Yeah, of course. I mean, players want to play in the biggest games, and this is an unbelievable game to come into. Like you said, it's on TV. It's the biggest team in the league by probably quite a far way. And they're probably, if we're being honest, a low-end League One kind of team, if you'd like to say, with the budget they have, the stadium, the fans, and it's another challenge we have to accept, take on board, try and get a win, because I don't think in any league, really, League Two especially as well, anyone can beat anyone, and that's how quick football can change. And we just hope they can have an off day and we can be on our A game. And
finally, Danny, you're one of a number of new lads that's arrived this week, so all a bit of a blur, really.
Yeah, there's been a lot of new faces, including myself. But the lads have been brilliant since I've come in. It's my first day yesterday, so they've all made me feel welcome, and I can't wait to just get on the pitch and show what I can do.
So that's the thoughts of Danny Cashman, who's joined Altrincham until the end of the season and will be playing in the number 10 role, starting with Saturday's game against Wrexham.